natural impulse to try and shield one's loved ones from danger, especially when you feel a moral compunction to run headfirst towards it. I suspect any child of Jaheira's will share her self-destructive sense of justice, but at least her words give them pause for thought.
You come to speak of the last time Minsk stood watch? The snoring, it was Boo. Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. We have. Is it not wonderful? To irk your friend so that she wishes to fill you with some crossbow quarrels, but knowing she never will for fear of hitting your hamster. There is no need for sweet words between companions such as we. Too often those are the weapons of flatterers and frauds. But she who will beat you about the head with the cold and pointy truth, that is a true Wicklaren. You do not know this custom. Great Rashomon is ruled by the masked ones. Wise women you might call witches. To each Wicklaren is bonded a berserker bodyguard, to dog her heels and watch her back, until death claims one or both. So it was with Minsk and his witch, Dinah here, until she died, and Minsk had to carry on without her. But Jaheira was there, to help Minsk take vengeance, and to kick his backside when he fell to brooding, as any true Wicklaren would. So, duty, camaraderie, help in troubled times. What I call the bond of a Wicklaren, you simply call friendship. I think I understand your meaning. Then Jaheira is my Wicklaren. And so are you. You are my Wicklaren. And Will is my Wicklaren. And Astarion is my Wicklaren. And Gale is my Wicklaren. And Shadowheart is my Wicklaren. And Halsin is my Wicklaren. And Karlak is my Wicklaren. Or no, Karlak is a berserker, so perhaps Minsk is her Wicklaren? My thanks to you, Wicklaren. You have given me much to think on. And should some enemy knock it loose again, Boo shall remind me.
Jaheira's family is a credit to her. She's wise to keep them secret. Safe. I was never afforded a chance to start a family of my own. Serving nature always had to come first. The city, you mean? With all its noise, smoke, stone, and bustle? I would not be here given the choice, but I promised you my support, and that is what you shall have. Still, though, this place crawls with life, but little of it flourishes. I see refugees unhoused, the destitute unwanted, orphans unloved. The city is like a forest with an overgrown canopy. Light and nourishment cannot penetrate to those who need it the most, and still it draws them in. The safety of numbers, the promise of civilization, the dream of better. All that potential is too often destined to die in the dark and rot in the gutter. I wish there was a better way. I wish everyone could see the sun, have a full belly, and know nature as a friend. There is a balance that is yet to be found. Listen to me, preaching like an initiate in his cups. Yes, I hope so. But we have a battle to win before any of that.
Jaheira would do anything to see her family safe. They're lucky to have her, and she's lucky to have them.
What is it, Cub? Not so much a term of age or affection as simple old habit. You object? And will be again. But now I shall mutter them under my breath, out of respect. Ask it. Oh dear. Should I brace myself for some fashion advice? But I suppose you have earned better than glibness from me. It was a gift from my husband Khalid. He was a harper. A better one than me, truth be told. Any idiot can swing a sword, but to believe in the cause with the whole of your heart, a much trickier thing. He died, alone, in pain, and far too young. Murdered by a mage who craved immortality. I'll not grant it by naming him in the same breath as my husband.
The quiet, unassuming shadow to Jaheira's strength, Khalid was another warrior who helped end the Balspawn crisis. Shortly after, he was murdered by the mad mage John Irenicus.
I've never known a warrior to go so far out of his way to avoid a fight, which meant the few he chose were usually the right ones. Most harpers swagger and flash their feathers to catch your attention. Khalid was quiet to a fault. And when we were married, on an upturned cart in the rainy Dalelands, he stammered so much. I'd never been sure if our vows actually counted. The druid in me would like to say it was a thing of balance. The younger woman recalls rather more about a fine bottom, and the habit not to speak unless he had something to say. The songs make much of Khalid's meekness. Quiet little harper who had to keep a tight hold on his courage, but he had it when it counted. And more than that, he had compassion. When you live a harper's life, see all that a harper sees, that is by far the harder thing to hold on to. But a bard can tell you all the rest. As for all the things they cannot, well, I shall just have to keep those for myself.
It is splendid to see you again, my friend. If you hadn't saved me from that mob, I'd be penning a guide to the afterlife based on first-hand experience. Perhaps you would hazard a guess as to why the mob turned on me? It is not the eyes that I fear, it is the intelligence behind them. the Absolute is merely the outward form of something far more insidious. The Lord of Murder has returned. As he did 100 years ago, Baal has set his accursed sights on Baldur's Gate. And his temple runs red with the blood of the innocent. Oren is his chosen. And like Sarevok before her, she is able to take on the savage form of the Slayer. If the Slayer is not stopped, it will slaughter every living thing in this city. As one of those things, I'm particularly eager to stop it. And there is a way. I have a study of the beast, penned by the wizard Irenicus himself. It contains all of the knowledge needed to slay the Slayer. Now I just need a brave adventurer, willing to face Baal's chosen, and to put the knowledge into practice. Wonderful! I can scarcely think of anyone more suitable. It will serve you well. A study of the Slayer, penned by John Irenicus. It's one of a kind, so do try to keep it away from the inevitable bloodbath, The Dream Eater. It is said the children of Baal are claimed throughout their sleep, ever disturbed by visions of a life of bloodshed and terror. Once they have seen too much, once these dreams drive their minds to break, they are beset by the Slayer. It is a beast of unspeakable violence that consumes all in its path, including the soul of the one who is host to it. A genius, exiled from his home in the elven paradise of Soldanesela, when he attempted to seize the power of life itself, he instead turned his magnificent mind to murder on a grand scale. That is how he came to crave the power of the Baal spawn. He saw them not as living things, but as tools for his own machinations. In the end, though Irenicus took the form of the Slayer for himself, it was a Baal spawn who thwarted him, the same that saved Baldur's Gate. Quite so. I was rather hoping you'd gathered all the rest of the adventuring paraphernalia yourself. You'll need every advantage. I am a living witness to Baal's defeat those 100 years ago. So I know your battle against him is not futile. He can be stopped. But not all of those who stood against him survived. And those who did were never the same again. I wish you luck, my friend. And I hope that when I see you again, you'll be in one piece. 2 or 3 at most. Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all as accurately as possible.
A little rest to brush the road from Boo's fur, and then back to our adventuring. Truly? But you have seen my hamster, yes? Here we stay, then. But if Boo grows restless and chews holes in all your delicates, you only have yourself to blame. As you wish, but quietly. It is listening. There is a very ancient and very wise saying that Minsk lives by. He who would try to control evil must beware lest evil tricks him, steals his clothes, and kicks his backside with his own boots. I read it on the privy wall in the Blushing Mermaid many years ago. Oh, Minsk knows all about this emperor. It has tried to introduce itself to me already. Minsk does not trust it. No, I do not think our new friend wishes to see me blubbering, Boo. Minsk is normally the strong and violent type, but if you insist on hearing a sad tale, he can tell it. This emperor played a very cruel trick. It made me believe that something lost had been found. It came to me in dreams, wearing a face I never thought to see again. Dinah here, a witch of my homeland. She was to be the greatest of them, and I her protector. It was not easy. She was a fierce and independent cub. She did not think she needed Mother Bear Minsk to protect her. And she was right. The elders sent us out into the world, thinking it would teach her to bow a little. But it was the world that bowed to Dinah here, wherever she went. And Minsk blundered along behind. And in the end, it was she who died, protecting me. That is in the past. It showed me Dinah here not as she was, but as she would have been. Should have been. Hearing her voice again. For a moment, Minsk almost believed it. But then, the Emperor made a mistake. It did the one thing that Dinah here would never, ever do. It told Minsk exactly what he wanted to hear. Dinah here. Hers was more the habit of teaching Minsk many new ways to say the word fool. I think on what she would say to Minsk now, cowering from a creature in his own skull. Fine. If you say this tadpole is a weapon, then let us wield it. So long as it is still our hearts that guide us, yes? Or better yet, my hamster.
I want to have a word.
But if we'd only made the effort.
A good day to you, madam. I apologize, but Lady Janeth is not currently welcoming visitors. If you are here with regards to her recent marriage, you may leave any gifts or warm wishes with me, and I will ensure she receives them. Forgive me. As you can hear, Lady Janeth is indisposed at present. Please come back another time. I assure you, absolutely nothing untoward is happening inside. Lady Janeth wishes for some time alone with her new spouse and has sent her staff on holiday accordingly. In ordinary circumstances, I'd appreciate her generosity more fully, but, well, I
I prefer to be here for when she changes her mind. Ordinarily, no. Though such generosity would not be out of character. But in this instance, I fear she has other motivations. Motivations I will not talk about. Were you to try and enter, there'd be nothing I could do to stop you. After all, I am on holiday. Do as you wish.
Can't wait to show off the stars.
Time to press ahead.
Oscar, if you're still in there, listen to my voice. This is not you. Please let me help you.
All I hear is the grunting of a swine. Come closer so I can rip out your filthy tongue.
Stop this. I love you, Oscar. And I know you love me.
It's your gold I love, hogwife. But all the riches in Faerun would not be enough to make a life with you worth living.
Oh, gods aid me. He does not mean the things he says. You! Help subdue him, but be gentle. He's not to blame.
It seems you owe compensation for the item you just damaged. You've paid the price for your vandalism. The matter is resolved.
Now, not that I'm ungrateful for your help, but... Wait. Your face is familiar to me. Yes, I've seen it before in Oscar's sketches. You're the one who saved him from the Zentarim. I used to be. Now I'm his wife. We married not a 10-day ago. Things have changed rather a lot since then. Had I known this would happen, Oh, who am I kidding? I'd still have married him. That's Oscar. I've known many artists, and none have half his talent or his charisma. He had our guests eating from the palm of his hands. You should have seen him on our wedding day. So vibrant, so alive. He couldn't have been happier. Not long after the wedding, he lost his appetite, fell into dark moods. He started to avoid my company entirely. Artistic temperament, I thought, but it worsened. He became violent. Called me some rather imaginative names. I hesitate to say it. Something unnatural has taken hold of him. Oscar has been possessed. The last time I left this room, the walls started bleeding, and a portrait of my mother tried to bite me. Flying furniture and screaming portraits I could deal with, but to see my husband reduced to such a state... I can't come within arm's reach without him trying to strangle me. And he calls me such vile things. It hates everyone, but it loathes me. It's not him. I know he would never hurt me. And I promised I would let no harm come to him. As you can see, I've already failed. It's obvious he needs more help than I can give. Please, you saved him once. You must find a way to cure him. Oscar's behavior began to change shortly after the wedding. He became withdrawn, working obsessively up in his atelier. I tried to take him some food, but I I couldn't cross the threshold. It was as though the house itself didn't want me up there. Whatever this thing is, it doesn't want anyone going up there. I swear it's in the walls, watching.
That might be worth a look.
Take the piggy bank, bitch! Burn her! Roast her!
Come on, open up.
The portrait is ice cold to the touch, filling you with a sense of overwhelming dread. So why is the woman smiling?
I've seen a real person snap someone in half. It squeezed their guts out of their ears like an overfilled sausage. Well, my cousin.
Take the piggy bank, bitch! Burn her! Roast her! Look at me. Aren't I beautiful? Closer. Closer. Ah! Unhand me. Elle is watching every single step. Dirty little fingers. Get up! No time to dally.
Set into the mansion's faded exterior, you see the faintest outline of a door, an entrance designed to provide the utmost discretion. The door pulses with a heavy, melancholic magic. Whatever lies behind it concerns the living and the dead. You sense it waits for the right words. It requires permission to open. The door shudders. It has no choice but to let you inside.
Mystic Carrion awaits.
Very well.
You do not have an appointment. Yet you seek an audience with Mr. Carrion. Ah, yes. You were drawn to me, a wanderer bearing the scent of death. You are familiar with the necromancy of Fae. I have heard the spirits whisper its name. Few books have the power to send a shiver through the living and the dead. Tell me, what did you make of its contents? Such a book is for those who make only the shallowest ripples in death's dark pools. I inhabit the depths. Clearly, these are not waters you know how to swim in. I would hate to be the one who helps you drown. Perhaps one day the book will reveal its secrets to you. Until then, they're best left between its covers. Unless you have any other business with me, I suggest you return to the domain of the living. The painter. Yes, I remember. He wanted to contact a tormented spirit. I gave him exactly what he desired, and for a pittance, given the complexity of his request. His inability to follow simple instructions is hardly my fault. If he wanted his safety guaranteed, that would have cost him extra. My clients are guaranteed absolute privacy in their consultations with myself and my spirits. I assume you came to me seeking an exorcism? I can provide you with the means to perform such a ceremony, but you understand, this is my livelihood. First, you must do something for me. Do not worry. It is of an earthly nature. It regards a conduit of mine, Thrombo, who has recently deserted his duties. He has not gone far, but given the sensitivity of his nature, I would prefer that he is not free to roam the city. Return Thrombo's body to me. Then I will give you what you need to cleanse Oscar of his spectral interloper. My child, that would be asking the impossible. He is already dead. He is... what do they call them here? Ah, a zombie. A waif I rescued from the jaws of death and gave a second chance at earthly purpose. If he does not value the gift I gave in reanimating that wretched flesh of his, then I will take it back. It is my property, not his. Had I thought you were the type to shout his name from the rooftops, I would never have offered you the job. Thrumbo is not alone in his ingratitude. He has led others in my service astray. 3 of them, beggars and zombies alike. The others lack even Thrombo's modicum of intelligence. It should be no great task to wring his location from one of them. Then, with the spirits herein our witnesses, the arrangement is made. They will follow your progress with great interest, as will I.
Ready?
Invisibilis.
There is work to do. Got to keep moving. Quiet as a mouse. Might as well help myself.
Come, mortals, and try your luck.
In and out like a ghost.
I have something to ask. Dribbles is dead. Joyous news. He was most irritating. Behold! Akabi's Wheel of Wonders is better than any clown. Let us see if you have luck's favor. Impossible. You thief! You cheated! Enjoy the jackpot, muley card!
Damn it, Ginny. Where am I?
Right tool will do the trick. Breathe deep and move. Just have a view. Might be useful.
Papa sells good things! Oi! Give that back! It's my special hand! I found it by the clown man's tent. Fought a rat for it and everything's. It's a one-of-a-kind hand with artisanal bite marks. It's worth lots.
Mama Lucretia says we family. Suppose that means Dribbles was too. Yeah. But don't tell nobodies I gave it to you for free. Got to protect my reputation as a tough business lord.
Hello again, my vicious little warrior. Any luck finding Dribbles? Oh dear. Dribbles' flesh is near torn asunder. Poor thing was most certainly alive when he was hacked up. Well, that just means this treasure hunt is all the more challenging. Toddle on, darling. There's more of Dribbles to find.
Ah! How did the despicable cheetah enjoy her vacation? You have my ring. That is reward enough. Now be gone. Akabi is bored of you.